Hello, everybody, on a recap Wednesday night. We'll wait for people to come in like usual. And let me press a couple of buttons here. Richard's with us already. Hello, John and Judy. But we have to take a while till everybody gets warmed up, and here they come. And of course, from way upon Honda, above my head, but about a couple of 100 miles this way, is Judy's on the line. Hello, Judy.
Hello, John. Hi, everybody. Good to be here as always.
Everybody's coming in. The professor's in the house.
Hello, Daniel.
That's Cindy, boy. Right on the ball every night.
She is. Hi, Cindy.
Starlene, the Marshal on the YouTube side, she's ready.
Hello, Starlene.
Gary, you guys are the best. You guys are the best. And I thought, Judy, we had a great show last night, and I thought it was one of the most entertaining shows of season 9. What do you think, Judy?
I agree 100%. I enjoyed it immensely. It was so nice to see something different, for sure.
Yep.
And to find out a little bit about the Templars in Portugal.
Yep, and how they're trying to tie in everything, because God forbid if we ever tie something in with Oak Island and find something that's actually there that ties in with something, Judy?
Exactly, John. I think they might have something this time.
I know. I agree with myself, because I'm by myself, so I agree with myself that it was the best episode I've seen in a long, long while.
Yeah, I enjoyed it very much. I watched it again this morning before I wrote my synopsis, and enjoyed it just as much the second time.
Yep. Well, let me get my thank yous through here, Judy.
All right.
Then we'll get on with the show, because we have a lot of screenshots. We have a lot of stuff to go through tonight, Judy.
Good. That's okay with me.
Okay, I want to thank my YouTube supporters, the Marshals, the Knights, the Captains, the Chanachals that support me on a daily basis. I thank you so much. Hello, Linda. Starlene, Sarah, Ided, Caroline, Virginia, Luke, Jeff, Curtis, Jana, Kelly, Becky, Josh, Mark, Sandala, Todd, Roxy, Jazdia, and Wayne for the continued support, and all the Knights that are with us, Judy, and also for you, Judy, to help me out immensely during the week and through our podcast. I thank you, Judy.
You're welcome, John. I enjoyed it immensely. Really enjoyed it writing this synopsis today.
Hello, Curtis. And of course, to the professor, Daniel Spino, that keeps us straight with the facts and his unbelievable write-ups. I thank you so much, Daniel. You're the best. Like I said, if anything inspired you from season 9, send it to me, send it to the chat, send it to the group. Allergies, guys. A drawing, anything that inspired you for season 9 to do something, send it. We'll put it up at the end of the season. I also want to thank my moderators, Tammy, Judy, Michelle, Daniel, Starlene, and Kathy for their help during the week also. And for our Quest Lifetime contributor, Chris Dona. When you see the number scrolling on the bottom, 1-323-813-4135, that's when you will have a call-in. But I doubt it tonight. We got a ton of stuff. I might have to do another podcast in a couple of days, Judy.
Okay, John. Sounds good to me.
I want to thank all our Facebook group members. They're our main people. Our YouTube members, I thank you also. And our Twitter live feed that gets between 15 to 30 views on our views, which is good for me. I'll take it. I also want to thank our anchor host, the radio side, that hears me and Judy on their podcast on Google, iHeartRadio, Pandora, and Spotify. But Spotify does take the download to actually see the video, Judy. So I want to thank all those guys, and we got to be as much as descriptive as we got to be. So I just got to keep on remembering that they don't see the video. Some of them do, but we got to be more descriptive, a little bit more if I can. Thank you for helping us out and supporting us, guys, on the radio side. What do you think of that, Judy?
For sure, John. It's hard to believe all those people are listening to us, but the more the merrier.
We're getting close to 10,000 plays on the audio side.
Wow. Wow.
Now, I don't know if they're watching like the video on their watches. I don't know where all this video is going. You know what I mean?
Right.
They can have the phone maybe on their handlebars or their bikes pointing up, with the phone playing, with their earplugs in, listening to us and watching their phone on their handlebars, I guess, right?
I guess that's possible, John. Sounds like a lot of work to me.
Yeah, just like I put my phone into the vent of the Jeep and it clips on and you put your phone on there,
Right. Works the same.
Yep. Last night, episode 23, Follow the Cobblestone Road. The team is stunned after an expedition to Portugal reveals undeniable evidence of the Knights Templar connection to Oak Island. And boy, did I think, and I looked hard at Portugal, Judy. What a beautiful town. They must have, rough areas, but Portugal is one beautiful place for like tourists and stuff like that. What do you think?
Oh, I think so too. I have a niece that has been there a few times and just loves it. Can't wait to get back. Certainly it looks old to us, John, but there's a lot of history there.
Right. Hello, Diana. They don't show us the bad parts, obviously, because they want people to go there, but every town has their bad parts. But what I saw there, it seems so historic and so relaxing. You know what I mean?
Right. And to think that the team stood inside a church that the Templars were actually in, that they actually built, that is something.
Right. And see how they built it with all those ornate items and stuff like that? Oh, my lordy 40.
Absolutely amazing. It is.
Centuries and centuries ago. And next week, next Tuesday, we have an episode 24, On the Road. That's the title. Marty Lagina makes an incredible discovery on Oak Island. Meanwhile, Rick finds evidence that could tie the Knights Templar to the construction of the Money Pit. So we have a lot of Templar stuff going on, Judy. Tons of Templar stuff.
We do. I'm looking forward to that for sure.
Yep, Darlene says hi, John and Judy.
Hello, Darlene.
I also had a other group that I changed for reasons, and that's going to be Templar related, so we can get deep into the Templars, so it's not overshadowing the Oak Island group. I wanted to change it to Templar Quest, but it wouldn't let me for some reason. Maybe I got to wait 30 days to change the title of the group. And if you're a member of Quest of Oak Island and you go to my other group that I posted for the Templars, you'll be automatically accepted, Judy.
Oh, okay. Sounds good, John. And we can talk Templars there anytime, guys.
Yep. And it's, like I said, you just go to that site, that Facebook site, click on it. And if you're a member of Quest, Judy, there's no more acceptance or invite or anything. I mean, for people not in there, sure. But the people, for the 70,900 people that are in the Quest Facebook group, they will be automatically accepted into the Templar group. Because I think the Templars is a lot deeper and a lot more discussions, besides Oak Island, just Templar discussions on its own, you know, Judy?
Right, and you could talk about them all evening, John, and we wouldn't get into Oak Island that way. So this works great.
Right. And of course, anything tied with Oak Island with Templars obviously would be posted, you know.
Right.
So Portugal's a beautiful town. Corian was fantastic.
Yes, he was.
What'd you guys think of that road they showed or that pathway? Pretty close or not close enough? What do you think? Hello, Jersey lady. Hello, Scott.
I think the second one was closer, but the first one certainly looked familiar.
Right. The first one seemed almost not manufactured, but set up nice. You know what I mean?
Right, yes.
But that second one, like you're saying, where the rocks or boulders were sort of spaced out more, there was more rocks on Oak Island than that spot. But it did look like that, like you're saying, on the second spot, looked a lot closer than the first spot they were standing on.
Right, exactly. And I think we need to remember that the one on Oak Island wasn't built for long-term use either.
Right, right. And yet, we're only going by the short roadway now.
Right, that's true.
Joanne, would you be posting Templar podcast on here, John? Yeah, if there's enough material, you got me. If there's not a lot of material, no. I'm not going to make a Templar YouTube channel because I'm established here. It'll all be posted in my group if we do a podcast for just Templars, because I got all the Templar stuff right here behind me. I don't have to change my background. I got the helmets. I got the crosses. You know what I mean, Judy?
Yeah, right, John. Sounds good. I'm game.
Ashley, they gave us several good looks of both roads. They do look similar. I got all pictures. You know me. I got all the screenshots. So when we go through them after Judy's synopsis, we'll take a good look. And Neil says the first road's restored. Yeah, it had to be restored. But you see how slow they were walking on those rocks to walk?
Yes.
And
yes, for sure.
And I'm going, they had to have some kind of sand or dirt or grass or something in between all these rocks. There is no way a 2,000-pound ox dragging things or wagons are going over that. Because when I told the people a long time ago, out in Arizona, the going west wagon trail, they went so many times with wagons to the west, they actually made grooves in the rock of the wagon wheels. There's pictures of the grooves in the rocks. So if those roads are that old, not the restored part that they showed us last night, there should be a lot of wear. You know what I mean, Judy?
Right, for sure. I would certainly think there would be, John. We don't see it.
It shows the Portuguese could have built it on Oak Island, yeah. Now we got to just find roads like that in Sweden or roads like that in Greece and roads like that. You know what I mean? Let's not be just focused on one area. So I've been looking around, so I'm throwing that out there. Who can find the most cobblestone roads around the world? I don't care if it's in Arizona, Vietnam, China. Don't care. See if we can find some comparables, guys. How's that sound, Judy?
That sounds like a darn good idea, John. And they did say last night that these roads could be fashioned after the Roman roads, so they could be everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You know, maybe somewhere else in Nova Scotia or the New Scotland, someplace up in that area, there's something else that's not found yet, you know?
Right, exactly. Scott says maybe the rocks just get pushed around by the wheels.
Yeah.
That could be too.
There's Kathy. She's not coming up on my YouTube thing, Facebook user. Okay, I got you, Kathy. Those Roman roads are all over where the Roman Empire was at. Thank you, Professor. All righty, but before we get into it and the roads, Judy, you got your glass of wine, your cup of coffee, your bottle of water?
I'm all set right here. I think I got Coca-Cola here tonight, so I'm good.
No rum and Coke?
Keeps me sober, John.
No Jack Daniels and Coke?
No, not tonight.
Okay. Hello, Gloria. Let me get your picture up here. Hold on.
All right.
Hello,
Sounds
Dee Dee.
good.
Dee Dee says, hello, Judy. Go, Judy, go.
Oh, hi, Dee Dee.
I stopped in and saw her today in between doing all this crazy work. You always got to stop and support people that support you. And if they come to your channel, go to their channel, say hello, even just say a hi in big letters and go. They see it. They read it after. You know what I mean, Judy?
Yeah, I agree, John. You got to take that minute for yourself.
Yep. Hello, Peter. All your power back on, Peter. Today, that's all I heard was dump trucks and backhoes grabbing all the tree limbs and the branches that fell from the snowstorm. So I was up early today. 7 o'clock in the morning I was up, Judy.
Wow, John. I saw that you were on. I thought, gee, I hope the guy's okay.
Oh.
Don't see you on that early in the morning.
No way. I don't move to noon, like you know.
I don't much either anymore.
I hear you. All right, Judy, I got your picture up, and this synopsis will be printed out on the Facebook group, Quest of Oak Island, so everybody can read later on. I put it up after our podcast, but tonight's going to be a long one, guys. I like to keep it at about an hour, but I think tonight we're going to run a little over, so hang on with us. So, Judy, when you're ready, thank you very much.
Thank you, John. And guys, of course, it's season 9, episode 23, Follow the Cobblestone Road. It's a new chilly fall day in the Money Pit area, and the team has begun digging the 5th and final 10-foot hole, B4C, which is just a few feet from hole C1. Andrew informs them they are water level. As the first hammer grab goes down, Rick, Peter, Alex, and Doug meet up with researcher Corian Mall in Portugal. With Corian is Templar expert Joao, and they have gathered at the Templar stronghold Forticata, which is the first land ever given to the Templars by the Portuguese king in 1126. Forticata is the oldest Templar commandery in Portugal, and as they begin their search for any connection there might be to Oak Island, Joea informs them they will not find it here in written words, but in symbols. As they enter the church, Rick points out that it is very castle-like, and Joea says the Templars considered this God's fortress. As they begin their search for symbols, Joao informs them that most of the symbols they see are made by the original builders and are called mason markers. At this point, Alex finds a very familiar cross on the wall, as it looks like the same one on the 90-foot stone. They agree they must do more research on this symbol. They move outside the church, and Corian points out a carved Templar cross with a sun carved to the left of the cross and the moon to the right. Also, there is a circle with a dot in the middle, just like the one on Oak Island's HO stone. Are they connected? Did the same mason make both these marks? Joao says this is an old symbol for gold. Corian informs them that this is the same cross This same cross is on a church in the city of Tomar. Rick says we must go to Tomar. Back on Oak Island, Gary and Marty are on Lot 8, and they dig up a chunk of triangular-shaped piece of iron. It looks to be off of an old, heavy hinge. The beeper goes off again, and Marty digs up another piece of metal, and Gary excitedly declares it a lock plate off of a flintlock musket. Later in the interpretive center, Laird takes a look at the piece of musket and puts it into the 1213 CT scanner that gives them a 3D image of the artifact. It shows on screen to definitely be a lock plate, and Laird points out the 12 screw holes will help them find out the age of it and hopefully where it came from. Laird says it definitely is not English, and this model was used between the 15 and 1800s. Could it be Portuguese? A new day arrives, and 2,800 miles east of Oak Island, the team has gathered at the town square in Tomar, the city of 7 hills. Jerusalem was also known as the city of 7 hills. Is this why the Templars chose Tomar for their stronghold? The team examines a statue of the 4th Grand Master of the Templars, under whose reign they moved their headquarters to France in 1157. Upon their return to Portugal in 1317, following their disbandment, they became the Order of Christ, and their cross was changed from 4 even arms to an elongated stem. This cross resembles Nolan's cross. Back home, Marty and Gary meet with Carmen in the research center, where he is examining the metal hinge found earlier. He says it is a very unique, well-made spade hinge from the 1400s. He believes it to be Spanish and off of a strong chest designed to hold valuables. Is it connected to the metal anomaly on Lot 8? And could it be Portuguese? We return to Portugal, where the team is examining an old stone road 30 miles west of Tomar. It looks Roman, but also like the stone road in the swamp. They have been joined by George, an archaeologist from the area, and Alex asks him if the Templars were likely to copy a Roman road. George said it is likely they did. 1 year ago, historian Terry DeVoe told the fellowship he believed the stone road in the swamp was made by the Portuguese. George shows them another road that Corian says is a spitting image of the swamp road, and George agrees. Doug then shows George pictures of some of the artifacts found in the swamp, and he says these are for sure not from the Oak Island region and could be Portuguese. Have they found evidence as to who built the stone road in the swamp? We will find out more next week, fellow acorns, so stay tuned and remember to stay safe, please.
Excellent presentation, Judy. Excellent synopsis, as usual. I thank you 1,000%.
Oh, you're welcome 1,000%. A lot of info there.
Oh, my lordy 40. And I got to get the professor on here. If we start talking about Templars, you know what that means for me?
What's it mean?
A lot of big words I can't pronounce. A lot of long lettering that I don't know what the heck I'm talking about. So You'll hear a lot of mumbling from me because I can't pronounce nothing.
Well, I'll tell you what, you noticed in my synopsis, I left out the names of two of the cities they were in and the last name of the two guys that joined them. I couldn't even begin to say them, so I understand.
That's all right. I got the screenshots, so they'll know who they are. And then, you know what I want to be? I want to be with them when they go to the Caribbean. You know why?
Why?
I want to go look for coconut fiber for about 6 months on the beaches of Waikiki or something.
Oh, sounds good to me. I think we should all go.
Let's go look for coconut fiber, guys. All 70,000 of us on all the Caribbean islands. We'll cover all the beaches, and the professor's buying all the cocktails.
Oh, sounds good. Getting better all the time.
Yep. Well, we got to do something on the off season, right?
We sure do, don't we?
So Ashley's in.
Good.
Pack your swimsuit, and here we go.
Daniel says rum.
Yep. And also, when they were hitting me with all this Portuguese stuff and how beautiful it was and how they're trying to tie it in with Oak Island, my memory went right to this. I'll show you guys. And we didn't hear much about it. Maybe Doug Crowell, who helps us out in our group, and I always thank him live now because he answers questions and we get factual information from him, Judy.
Right.
I came up with this, I don't know what year, I can't remember. And I always asked about this. The cork oak stump in the swamp.
Yes. I want to know more about that.
Only found in where, Judy?
Portugal.
Yep. So
it's got to mean something. It's got to.
Yeah, because if you look back on my videos, guys, and don't forget to hit the like button on YouTube and hit that subscribe button on YouTube. It helps us out a lot to make them show our videos more and more, the podcast videos more and more before the season ends to help out. And also there's the join channel, paid side. It starts at $2.99 a month. That helps pay for anything I got going on the studio to keep it going. I appreciate it a lot. But this shouldn't have been there at all. I mean, how would this make it from Portugal to the swamp all the way across the ocean? You know what I mean?
Right. They had to have brought it. And Daniel says that should not have been there. And he's right.
I mean, we can see things, high tide, low tide, chairs fly into the island, debris flies into the island. So if there was no road there, sure, with the swamp at that angle, sure, it's going to be a vacuum for things during storms and northeasterns. But a stump, a stump from Portugal, and I know the guy took a sample from it because it's on the video. He put it in a bag, and I haven't heard a word or a peep on this. Have you guys heard a peep or a word on any of this as far as dates or place of origin? Maybe it went over my head, Judy. I don't know, but have you heard anything about this stump since I posted it years ago?
I have not, and I'm hoping now that they've been to Portugal and they're starting to put some things together that they will come back to it. I hope.
Well, I hope they find a cork oak tree there while they're there.
That would be interesting.
Take a little branch off. I mean, it's not going to be it's going to be a current tree or whatever. I don't care about the age and stuff. Just to compare it. They're comparing things now with pictures. Well, here's something we can compare a piece of wood to. They say, well, it's always wood. It's always wood. No, this piece of wood is very important. You know what I mean, guys?
Right, John. Big difference here. We need to know more about it.
So if they can find a cork oak tree, take a little piece off, throw it in your overhead pack on the airplane. And I don't know what they did with this stump. I have no idea where it is or how it's done. But it's something physical, like Ashley says. It's not a picture. Physical, we got what? The garnet, the jewel, the lead cross. But here we can have a piece of wood from a foreign land, matching it up. Even though they know it's from Portugal, maybe they can get some more ideas of maybe how it got there and what it is. You know what I mean, Judy?
Exactly, John. And to me, it proves that somebody from Portugal brought it there, be it Templar or otherwise.
I mean, if you're on a trade route and it's a wharf, who knows if they had some kind of seeds from an oak tree that flew in their head or something and it flew on the island. You know, just saying, you know how they got the weeping willow trees, they got the helicopters, they fly all over the place.
Yes.
So maybe something like that was in a shipment or on a box or in a shipment that just grew on the island. You know what I mean?
It is hard to understand. Daniel says the weirdest part, it's not even supposed to grow on Oak Island.
Right.
So was there a tree growing there and then the swamp killed the tree itself?
Right. Hello, Michael. Thanks for coming in, my main man. Michael from Dot to Dots in the house.
Hi, Michael.
But I'm saying, so I was thinking of this, Professor. I was thinking of weeping willow trees. This is how Johnny's brain works. You know how it goes, Judy.
Yeah, I do.
And I'm saying, this thing didn't go by the current and go in the swamp. Check that off. I said, well, how the heck can that tree grow there? The only way is during the trades or what they were doing. Weeping willows have little helicopters or off of oak trees. Like me, I planted an acorn and I got an oak tree in my mother's backyard, right?
Right.
The only way this could have happened if somebody from Portugal, some kind of seed was in the air or something and fell on a package they were packaging in, or a bale of something, or rum or barrels or whatever, got caught up in that. You know what I mean?
Right, exactly.
And that's the only way a tree that doesn't supposed to grow on Oak Island would get there.
That's unless somebody brought it. Exactly. BC says there are lots of cork oak trees in central Portugal. I doubt it floated to Oak Island. And Daniel comes back with, you'll have somebody claim that it did.
Yeah, but that's impossible. My own opinion.
Exactly.
That's my own opinion. It floated all the way from Portugal into Oak Island.
Yeah, like Daniel says, somebody will try and tell you that.
Yep. Well, that's my personal opinion. You know, I'll say no, but anybody can disagree with me. That's how we got the group. And just seems unreal. Professor, what do you say here? My guess is Portuguese tried to plant it and it couldn't be sustained. Yeah, but look at the size of that root. Look at the size of that root ball. You know how big that tree had to be that big of the roots on the bottom? It had to grow for years to get that big of a root ball. No, I'm not no plant guy. I plant tomatoes and peppers and romaine lettuce, but that root ball is huge, and that takes a lot of time to grow, doesn't it?
I would certainly think so, and I can't see them just bringing the roots. So I don't know, John. I hope we can find something out.
But you know what I mean, Judy. If it was a small little root ball, okay, it didn't make it, you know.
Right.
Not the size of that root ball.
Yeah, I agree. I do.
BC, you think that's a 100-year-old stump? That big? This is what we got to find out. These little details that bother Johnny, I still have no answers. And Doug W., I don't know what the heck that means. So, we got a lot of things to find out yet. We got about a week and a half left of show. So, who knows, guys? Who knows? Yep, we have no idea. And if Michael says the Portugal is definitely in the game, there you be. He's probably working on some kind of tie-in himself.
He probably is, yes. Can't wait to hear it either.
Yep. And then Sydney, on the show I watched, it said the Templars planted all the trees on Oak Island to make it stand out from the other islands. Correct, the canopy oaks. So maybe they brought it in also, because that's where their main headquarters was. So, I mean, we'll never know that, who planted it, but just one, and the other one's just disintegrated. But that's an idea, Sydney. I'll go for that.
Yeah, me too.
Girdling. Doug says when you put it in the ball there, it's girdling. Girdle. Thank you, Doug, for that landscaping tree presentation. My brain's ready to explode. I got all I can handle with Oak Island.
Yeah, you don't need any more, John.
I know. Good thing these season's ending pretty soon. I need my brain to re-soak. The professor says the French brought apple and pear trees to Acadia from France. Daniel, I saw a early Oak Island film. And guess what was on Smith's Cove? Where the ladies used to pick. They had an apple tree right there. I'll have to look for it, Daniel. There was an apple tree on Smith's Cove that they went to that tree to pick apples. I saw it with my own two eyes. But now to find it, that's another story. I can't really mark everything down, you know what I mean? But I know I saw that for a fact. An apple tree on Smith's Cove. If you guys look at YouTube and the videos of the older videos, you know what I mean, Judy, way back.
Right. Yes.
Ashley says, are you feeling like brain soup at the end of the season? I am. I don't know about Judy and the rest of the crew, but I'm real soupy.
I was just thinking today, John, that it'll be kind of nice to have a little break from the synopsis, but in less than a month, I'll be anxious to get back at it, and I got to wait till November.
Yeah. We'll see what happens until we get an official word or something. We have no idea, Judy.
Exactly.
We just play it by ear. When we hear it, we sort of knew pretty quick last year, didn't we?
Yes, we did. Yeah.
I forgot because they announced it real soon. Usually they waited and waited and waited. We knew we were having season 9 maybe after about 2 months, maybe August, somewhere in there, I thought. I'm not sure.
Yeah, they really did start talking about it then, yes. Hopefully they will this year, too.
Yep. Let us know. All right, let me remove this cork. How do you pronounce it? Oak cork or cork oak tree stump? Here we go. All righty, guys. Are you ready for some screenshots? I don't know how many I got.
Let's go.
Here we go. All righty. Of course, they started out the show showing the island, but they had to show us where B4C is. That's what they're digging out of there. You know, maybe they found something. Maybe Marty found something this coming week, because so far out of the caisson, Judy, was all Corian. Not really nothing coming out of the caisson and that gun muzzle striker that they found. You know what I mean, Judy?
Right, exactly. I have a question for you.
Yeah.
When they put the first hammer grab down last night, Andrew said they had gone down 14 feet, and then he mentioned water level. I've never heard them put it that way before. Does that mean that's where they reached water?
Well, we don't know where they started at. So that 14 feet, obviously, is not from the top. There won't be no water in 14 feet. It's like 40 feet below there. About 40 feet they hit water.
Okay.
So maybe they were 36 feet in, 26 feet in, and they had to go another 14 feet to hit water.
Oh, okay. All right. Gotcha. Okay.
Because the money pit is on the highest part of the land. I think it was said there was 54 feet above sea level, plus they put the pad on, plus they put the topsoil on, plus they build it up. So the water level you would hit a lot lower than, say, if you went to Smith's Cove and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
All right, gotcha. Yeah, I never heard them put it like that before, so thank you for explaining it.
Yep. So this is showing them B4C, our last caisson. Very shocked on number 5, so that shocked me. But last night's episode was off the wall. I love last night's episode, but the only other thing that shocked me was the 5 caissons, and the rest, not too bad, but not like last night. So there's the last caisson we see till possibly season 10. We'll let you guys know when we find out, or if you find out before me, just let us know. Give us proof, screenshot, we'll put it right up. What a beautiful place. See, the leaves are changing. You know you're in end of October there.
Isn't it gorgeous? It really is.
Or the middle of October. You'd think that place would sink by now, you know what I mean?
I have thought of that too, John. You wonder somehow why it doesn't.
I mean, you only can drill so many holes into a spot. If it has sinkholes and everything else, you're going to have some problems after a while, you know what I mean?
For sure.
I mean, you only
if they keep it up, I won't be able to put my cottage on there.
I hear you, but you only can drill so many holes and put so much fill back in. And they put a different kind of glacier till fill back into the caissons. So they know if they go back to dig to the money pit, they know that glacier till is fill, not original soil from the money pit. So that's how they know the difference if it's fill that they put in or it's the original soil that's been on the money pit. You got that?
Yes, and what a great idea.
Yep. So I don't think they're done at the money pit, but I wish they would move west. Go to the left. See this picture? Go to the left, go past the swamp, and start digging over there.
Good idea.
The professor, where's he come up with this stuff? On the other thing, you can only harvest a cork tree every 20 to 25 years. So we'd want to plant more than one. Professor, I don't know. Professor's got to go on Jeopardy. That's all I know.
Yeah, really. I don't think he ever quits researching, ever.
Fantastic, Professor. I'm glad I have him in my group.
Yeah, me too.
And here they are, doing the last caisson. Of course, I got to look around. I look in the background. I look to the left, to the right. I look up on top, about 200 feet where 10X is. You know me, Judy. I'm looking all over the place.
Yes, you do every little bit of that picture, don't you?
Yep, Gary, that's absolutely true. We don't know, but he says, I think more has been found than aired. As Rick said way back, when they find the treasure, it will take time till we'll know, because this first has to determine if anyone or the country has ownership right. Yep, just like the shipwrecks and everything else. Great show for the professor. New show. Ask that acorn.
This call is now being recorded.
What's that? Whose phone was that? Was that yours, Judy?
I have no clue, John. I guess it must have been. Don't know where that came from.
Yes, Michael. There was a tree in the swamp. It was a oak cork tree stump in the swamp, Michael. And I don't know what year it was. I can't remember. They did take a sample of it. We haven't heard anything, Michael. And there they are at the sausage table. And there's Billy. No jacket, no hat, short pants on, and a t-shirt.
I don't think man gets cold easy at all.
My lordy 40. He's the toughest. And here's a bigger shot of what they're doing around there. And you see above, you see that 3 trenches up on top. And then there's a hill.
Yes. Yes.
That's Dunfield spoils. So we got a lot of spoils to go through there. They only got them 3 trenches done. You know what I mean?
Right. Wow. Yep. Still a lot more.
So you can see that, right?
Yes, I can.
Well, see how I look at stuff, Judy?
Mhm. Yeah. You wonder, will they ever get through it all?
Phew. I don't know. And here we go. So they started the caissons. Yep, Scott, thank you. We got a lot of stuff to do yet on this island, guys. A lot of stuff. Yep, we love Billy. And then we go to Portugal. Now, to say all these names, forget it. You guys are on your own.
I agree.
What a beautiful place. Hello, Gustavo. Thanks for coming in. What a beautiful place.
Oh, it sure is.
What is it, 2,800 miles, you said? Oh, my lordy 40.
Yep.
I guess the COVID's okay to go traveling all over the place, I guess.
Yes. People seem to be traveling okay.
Get tested in and tested out, probably. Excuse me.
That could be, John. I don't even know how it's all working right now. I've lost track.
Me too. This other variant supposed to be kicking up a little bit, and some of the people don't want to wear them, and some people do. So you just do what's safe for yourself. That's all. Don't worry about it.
Right. That's what we've been doing here. We have had some more of it here in our little town, and this is the first that we've really had it here, but nobody has gotten really sick.
Right.
Everybody's been able to stay home and get through it. So that in itself is good.
Yep. Here's the Templar historian with the Corian. He's the historian that they had on this trip. I don't know how long.
Joao, and I think it said Jo, but I'm not sure.
I'm not even pronouncing them. And there's our main man. We know this guy.
Oh, we do. That's our Corian.
Yep. And here they are going into that church. Doug's got all his equipment with him. Pictures in the briefcase and flashlights and fanny pack. He's all ready. You think he's
ready to go.
You think the younger guys would have something? They got nothing. Peter and what's his name? Nothing. They're not carrying.
Yeah,
nothing.
They're not carrying a thing. That doesn't seem right.
What a beautiful church.
Sure is. Amazing.
They built it way back when. Alex, yeah. Then just showing some of the architecture, just how the heck did they do all this stonework,
I wonder every time I look at it, John. I wish we could watch the building.
Yeah, they try to recreate some of these things like that, but I don't think it's exact how they did it. You know what I mean?
I agree. Yes.
Just setting up the scaffolding would be crazy. You know what I mean? Just to reach up that high. Same thing like with the pyramids. How the heck they do that with the heavy blocks? Who knows? Just unbelievable workmanship, guys?
It sure is. Amazing world we live in.
Then they compared to the 90-foot stone, the double cross there, and that's how they were comparing it. On the right is the stone On the left was in the wall in the church, Judy.
Yes, and they look the same.
Even the angle.
Right, that's amazing in itself.
Now, how can that be, guys? Now, let's look at this picture. I'm looking at it. It's not straight up and down on the stone. And it's not straight up and down 90 degrees in the church either. So Johnny scratches his head. Very, very interesting.
That's what made me wonder, John. It's the same mason that put it in the church, put it on the stone, because it looks like the same person made it.
Or did they make the stone in Portugal and just throw it in with the treasure? When they were done burying the treasure, throw the stone face down, and when they're done, get out.
Yeah, it's so hard to say.
But you know what I'm saying? Maybe they made the stone in Portugal, put it with the treasure. Then after all that long time of doing the tunnels and the flood tunnels, they said, this is how it's designed. Now, the stone that I remember, the 90-foot stone, was found face down. So if you're going from the top down, the letters were face down. Not face up, but face down, like from underneath to see it. You know what I mean, Judy?
Right, exactly. Often wondered about that.
So it was face down. Yep. Face of freedom. We got to look at Nolan's cross. Thanks for coming in. It just fired everything up, but at least we have comparisons. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, this is what was found in Portugal. This is what were found in Oak Island. And maybe we got the who and the where.
Right, John. I think this is telling us something.
Not the what yet, but the who and the where. Then they were talking about the circle with the dot. It could mean gold. It could mean just a mathematical thing. It could be the sun with the dot. A lot of people had different ideas on the with the HO stone and this circle with the dot. All depends what you want to believe.
Right. I know Joel said that it does stand for gold, but again, we don't know that for sure, do we?
All right, I got a question for you guys. Are you ready?
Ready.
Why does the H plus O stone have to be right side up like this here? If you laid the stone down, wouldn't the H be across?
I'm not sure, John, how I would read it.
Hello, Michael. The circle stands for eternal also. Okay, Michael, thank you.
Oh, okay.
Say if the HO stone that they show it here, H plus O stone, was laid down with the H on the ground and the O on the ground, would that make any difference?
I think I'm so used to seeing it that way, I can't imagine it laying down and thinking different about it. Oh, Daniel says circle with dot there suggests sun to me. On the HO stone, I believe gold.
Okay. So you believe the writings as is, the way it sees. You don't see the stone any other way but the way they have it here.
That's the only way I can see it. John, maybe some of the others see it differently. Anybody?
So I was just looking at a different angle. I'm going, well, maybe if it was laid on the other side, that was kind of a stretch, but I was just saying, you're so used to hearing HO stone, but is it really an HO stone in the right 90-degree showings that they show it all the time? You always got to think outside the box, guys. Always outside the box.
Right on. Now somebody will maybe think about that and come up with something.
Yeah, I was turning it, and that's when I was getting the idea. Now, Gary and Marty find this hinge-looking thing on lot 8. And Daniel says it might be a formula. Put a formula on a rock? Whatever. We'll look at everything. Very, very weird. Yep, Ashley, I don't know if we're looking at it the right side, the way they wanted us to look at it, so you got to look at all types of angles. Could it be the person that turned it this way? Could be, and seen it before it was blown up. I know they blew up this whole thing looking for the treasure underneath, Judy. You imagine that?
Oh, that just breaks my heart every time I think about that.
Then they found this older hinge on lot 8. Very interesting.
It's certainly a big one.
Yep, the H becomes a capital I. Maybe it's an IOU. IOU stone. A marker. Then they found that flint. I can't imagine, Professor, them blowing that up, thinking it was a good idea that the treasure was underneath. It must have been one huge rock to get blown up to look underneath, Judy. You know what I mean?
I agree. I totally agree.
Maybe it's out in the bay someplace.
It could have given us more information had they not done that.
Yeah, but maybe when it blew up, the pieces were so small they couldn't see it, or part of it's in the sediment in the bay. You know what I mean?
Right. That could be.
And then the flintlock musket on lot 8. There it is on the machine. Looks pretty clear as day on that, Judy.
Sure does. I think it's amazing what that machine did to that. It really made it very clear.
And Stu says the rending of the 90-foot stone includes 5 crosses. Are they symbols or codes? Who the heck knows? Cryptic messages with one thing supposed to say another thing. Oh, my lordy 40. Unbelievable. And that's all about they showed us at the money pit. That white thing that everybody was seeing was just a overexposure with the camera and the pieces falling out of the case on. So I wanted to tell you it was just an overexposure. It wasn't a white bag. It wasn't a bag of gold. I was just teasing you guys. And it's just an overexposure. And that's it for that, Judy.
Good, John, because I was wondering too what the heck that was. I mean, it would have been nice if it was a bag of gold, but
I just put that in there just saying, oh, let me see if I can tease you guys a little bit. But right underneath it, I said, it's an exposure from the film.
Okay.
Or the video. And they said people took souvenirs from the exploder. They chose probably, Caroline, they took more than that. They probably took more than that. Then they went to Tomar. What a beautiful countryside, the buildings. I don't even see anything that would be disturbing. You know what I mean?
No, it's just gorgeous.
Do they all have orange roofs? Orange tile roofs?
I think they tend to be quite colorful over there.
Yeah, I like the colors, Judy.
I do too. I really like it.
Over here, that's all we got is black roofs, black tar, black shingles.
Yep. Yep.
BC's got it right. Hide, destroy, and sweep the area clean of evidence. They did a great job.
Sure did.
And guess who that is? It's our main man, Corian. Got a lot of shots of him last night.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, it was good to see him.
Yep. And there's his historian helper. This is in the central square there. Beautiful place. And I forgot what the castle was on top of the hill. The original place of the Knights Templar. You see that castle through those trees up on top?
Yes. And I can't tell you the name.
Yeah. Very nice. Very, very nice. And then Corian talking about the cross, how it was even on all four sides, and then the bottom was elongated. That was a good description, him showing us that.
It was, and I'm glad to learn that because I often wondered the difference.
And there's the elongated bottom in that cross. The heck was that noise?
Yep.
And
So now we know the shorter one is Templar and the longer one is Order of Christ.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. Yep. How they evolved. And now again, Nolan's cross, longer on the bottom, shorter on the sides. All this stuff just can't be coincidences. It can't be. You know, just too many things are looking too solid.
I agree.
And there's another main man of ours looking at this hinge. And there he is, Carmen Legge.
Good to see Carmen as always.
Yep. Of course, they always got to say it came from a heavy chest with valuables. It's always got to be valuables. It can't be a chest of apples or a chest of whatever. It's got to be a valuable chest. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he always says that, doesn't he? He did say, though, it could have been dishes and that kind of stuff.
But they still got to say treasure.
Yes.
You couldn't say, well, it's a box of dishes and cups and leave it as that. Nope, they got to put in there. Oh, and it could be valuables, which it could be. You know what I mean? It could be cups, it could be dishes, could be treasure, could be jewels, could be anything.
Right.
And here's the road, guys. Where's the hooked X? No idea, Doug. Nothing of that came up so far. So this seems so perfect that it's all redone, this road here. That's why it looks that way. You know what I mean?
Right. So people must walk on it.
Oof.
I don't know how they do it, but
they must sign a release. If you crack your ankle, you can't sue us.
Right.
Or walk at your own risk. There's a big sign in the front. Walk at your own risk. Because again, just imagine a 2,000, 3,000 pound animal pulling things or hauling things on this stuff. They had to have some kind of cement between these stones, dirt, something. I mean, the stones would move on a heavy cart. The stones would be flying all over the place if they're not embedded a little bit. You know what I mean? One trip with an oxen cart, that whole place would be ripped up. You know what I mean?
Right, John. It sure seems like it would be, for sure.
It would be like when I drive down a snowy road and you look back, that's all you see is 2 tire marks of your own. You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly.
And that's the part I can't figure out. You know what I mean, Michael? This is in Portugal. What'd they say? 30 miles west of Tomar. So I was looking for this town, guys. That's another thing for you guys to look up. I'm looking to find where this road is or pathway. So they said it was 30 miles west of Tomar. So there's another project I got for you guys. Let's find this baby, where it's at. Google Earth. And there we be. Looks a lot flatter to me. The rocks look a little bit more rounded on top and flatter than the Oak Island pathway or wharf or road.
Yes, it does. Again, this one probably has been used a whole lot more than the one at the swamp.
Oak Island soil freezes and heaves the rocks about, unlike more tropical. Richard, you're right on the ball. Listen to this guy. Obviously, they freeze, especially they're in the swamp. They're heaving up and down. But I'm just saying the rock structure itself, Richard, they look more jagged than round and flat. You know what I mean, Judy?
Right. Yeah, I agree.
I know the frost is heaving them. And also, again, guys, Johnny's brain. When they were saying how they made this road, even in the swamp road, what did they say? In a bog, they would use large stones on the bottom. They said nothing about what? Cribbing.
True. I hadn't thought of that. You're right.
That's all we had on the big stone wharf in the swamp was cribbing, and cribbing. These guys said in a swamp type area or bog, they just use bigger boulders to do the bottom base and then the smaller ones as you go up to the top. You know what I mean, Judy?
Right. Okay, gotcha. Daniel says, I was reading that back in the 1700s, they didn't have roads in the countryside of Nova Scotia. If you had to go to Halifax, it was by ship.
Very, very good, Professor. So when Johnny's thinking about cribbing, there's no cribbing under all these rocks. There's no stones. There's no big stones. I mean, this is in a dry area. But underneath our swamp stones, there was no big boulders underneath. They're just cribbing. You got it what I'm talking about?
Yes. It's been a while since we were there, but yes, I remember.
Yeah. That's how we got the date of the road is by testing and aging the wood that was underneath it, the branches that was underneath it. Dr. Spooner got the wood. You follow me so far, gang?
I think we are.
And Neil, the top layer of the mirror would finish the road. Yup, the smaller stuff on top to fill in the cracks. But the stones are more interesting to look at on the restored road. Yeah, very, very interesting. And Daniel says, but on deeds, there's mention of roads on Oak Island. I have no idea.
True, Daniel. We have seen that.
Yep.
From your work.
And there they are gingerly walking up that, I guess it's a roadway, they're going to call it there. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Very gingerly. I would be wearing flip-flops on that road.
For sure. You notice the older guys are finding it much harder than the younger guys.
You got that right. They're about to meet the archaeologist and Corian and the historian there for the Templars. Very interesting show last night. Very interesting episode. I loved it. It was one of the best I've seen.
I think we all agreed.
There's the archaeologist. You got to get him to come to Oak Island. No doubt.
Yep, that's George.
Yep.
both guys seemed excited about anything they found that could connect to Oak Island.
I know, that's what they're there for.
Right.
Imagine going on a trip like that and finding nothing comparable.
It would be, well, the trip would be nice, but it'd be certainly disappointing.
Right. They get sick of disappointing. This got them all pumped up like it got me pumped up. You know what I mean?
Yes, exactly.
Very positive, very pumped up. Daniel says it would suggest whatever it is, a road, a wharf, whatever, was built in the 1500s. I can't remember, Daniel, what Dr. Spooner said. I think it was around that age, on the cribbing underneath the stones in the small paveway. That's all we had to go by. I mean, you can't date a rock, you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, it was handy that he found that.
And there he is again. Got to give Corey a lot of FaceTime here. And this is their layering process. Obviously, this is on dry land. But imagine the amount of work this has to be done.
I can't even imagine how long it took them to do that.
Now, let me get this straight, guys, and then Johnny's brain works again when he sees this road. We're in Portugal. We got religious artifacts, gold, and so on. We're going to go to the New World because another Templar before gave us information about this island. You know, how to get there, what to do. So you'd have to send a team to Oak Island first, just to imagine just building this stuff first. And if the money pit was a sinkhole, still you have to build. Still you have to construct. Still you have to do the flood tunnels, escape routes, back doors. You know how long that would take?
It would certainly take a while, wouldn't it?
Why would you do all this and roads and everything for a treasure? I would not.
That's why I keep wondering if it's a treasure that means more than gold, silver, and jewels.
Not unless it was just a trading post, a ship repair spot, or a wharf. Because if I have a treasure and you got a spot from previous Templars that know about Oak Island to plant the oak trees, to get everything set up, you're talking years and years and years. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, John. It certainly wasn't done overnight.
So if you have a pile of coins and a pile of silver, or a bar of coins and a couple of things of jewels, you're going to do this for that? I say no. It's something that we have never seen before. This is something, wherever it is, was either buried for not to be seen again.
It certainly seems that way, John. It's got to have more meaning than just money.
Yep. I don't know if it's still there or if it was there or whatever, but I'm just saying, would you do this for gold coins and silver coins? No. Too big of a project, too big of a deal involving the Templars.
I agree.
Now, there's a comparison, guys. And the rebuilt road on the left there from Portugal, Doesn't look nothing like the small road on the right to me. That's my own personal opinion. A quick look, yes. What do you guys think?
Okay, so the one on the left is in Portugal, and the one on the right is where?
Oak Island.
Oh, okay. All right.
And Richard said the Templars built nice roads in Portugal because they were meant to last forever. On Oak Island, they were not going to invest the effort to make a permanent road. They covered it when they left. Well, if they covered it in the swamp, that means there's tunnels in the swamp. Otherwise, why even do it in the swamp? Because the money pit is on higher ground. So if you're building something in the swamp, because the swamp was there, that means it was either number one, a wharf, or number two, they needed this temporary roadway or wharf to build tunnels underneath. Then with the dirt from the tunnels, they had to cover all the stones. You got me where I'm going here?
Yes, I think you got a good idea there.
Now, if there's a road to the money pit, that makes no sense to me, whatever, because they just go over the land. It wasn't wet, you know what I mean, from the small road to the money pit.
And that's going to show somebody exactly where it is, too.
I don't know. It's getting me crazier and crazier.
Now, they said something last night, and Daniel, I hope will correct me if I'm wrong.
Alrighty.
It sounds to me like they're thinking that the Templars went to Oak Island and buried something, and then years later, the Order of Christ went back to Oak Island to get it. I don't know if I'm right, but I think that's what they said.
I think the Order of Christ wanted to retrieve the treasure themselves.
Right, exactly.
Because the Templars, somehow they knew it was buried on Oak Island, and they were going there to actually retrieve it. That's how I got
know. Zena said she believed that the Templars were there in the late 1100s and that they left the treasure there at that time. So whether she was right, we don't know.
Right. And that means they had to start building this elaborate system way before then.
Right.
The blue clay, not sure about that. But we're just saying, if you had an unspeakable, unbelievable treasure, would you go through all this to do it? From planting oaks to building roads, flood tunnels, and everything else. Just doesn't make any sense. Covering the road up, Judy, you know what I mean?
I think the Templars would do it, John, if they were hiding a secret they didn't want ever found.
Right.
But other than that, I don't know why anybody would do this.
Yep, and Richard, I always had that question too. Why did they backfill the money pit? You know what I mean? If they got it and took it out, why are you refilling the money pit after you got the treasure if you got it out? That's the big question. No, because it's still there someplace, somewhere. Or they took it out. You know, why refill a 90-foot hole? What do you think, guys?
That's true. That's true.
Well, let's make a platform 10 foot. I mean, let's put a stone in at 90 feet. Put it in face down. Oh, fill up that 10 feet. Let's get some more oak logs. Well, we're up to 80 feet. Let's get some more oak logs. Get some more dirt, 10 feet of dirt. We're at 70 feet and work your way out. Why backfill the thing? Drives me crazy.
Yes, that seemed crazy, wouldn't it?
I just don't get it. I don't have any answer for you guys. Just what we know. If they did retrieve it, you just go get it and do what you got to do. You don't backfill the whole thing. You don't. I don't know. Just unbelievable. Well, that's what we're coming down.
Daniel says there was Templars all over Europe which ones would have hit it. I don't know, Daniel.
There's Corrine again. Now, this looks more like Oak Island, the backside, Judy, the back end of the trail. You know what I mean?
Right. I think so, too.
I mean, like they're saying in Portugal, they said, well, they're going to make their roads last forever because that's their home base. But at Oak Island, you're just throwing these rocks all over the place. For what? A wharf? A road to what? Bring what? Not unless you had 30 ships of treasure and you had to haul it all day long. It just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make a sense.
No, it doesn't.
But this picture here reminds me of the pathway. We see a lot of dirt in between. And there's the pathway that went on, what was it, like 650 feet on the side of the swamp.
Yes.
Of course, they got to put in, well, they found the barrel lids. I wish they would do that stuff for fibers on there, but I don't think they did that yet.
Doesn't sound like it.
No, not unless they're still closed up where they have to test the wood. Then as they're looking for the path going from that small paved area towards the money pit. Why do you need all these paths? That's what I want to know. Why do you need all these roads across dry land? Yep, we're finding ox shoes.
Yeah.
And Gary says, I'm with you, John. The hidden truth. There's something history changing. There's something. You don't do all this, in my opinion. Now, I'm not saying it's there. I'm not saying it's not there. Or it is there, or was there, and it's someplace else. That's knowledge we'll never know. You know what I mean, guys?
I truly believe, John, that if they find something, it will change history. This has gone on so long. So many people have looked for something there. It's got to mean something.
Yep. And you're right. No way do I think like Francis Bacon or the Templars, how they do cryptic messages and all this blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. Unbelievable. Yep,
Daniel says, go ahead, John.
Daniel says, my opinion is if the Templars buried something on Oak Island, it would have been before 1307 in their prosecution. Yeah, they had to do it before they were eliminated. Because
yes, I agree.
Because the people from Portugal, the Templars from Portugal later on, knew of this treasure going to the New World because they wanted to retrieve it. You know what I mean, Judy?
Yes, exactly. I agree with Daniel. Yes.
They didn't say they were going to the Great Lakes or they were going to, not Montreal, but California or wherever. Maps and answers seem to be poking to the New Scotland on Oak Island. Just too many variables, Judy. Just too many variables.
Right. Yeah. Too many things point there for sure.
So what do you think, guys? I think that was a fantastic show last night. Watch the group. I might come on Saturday. I'm not sure yet. If not, I'll see you Tuesday pre-show. See what Marty has found. Don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button on YouTube to help us out. Next week, it's called On the Road. Judy will be with me next Wednesday at 7:30. Marty Lagina makes an incredible discovery on Oak Island. Meanwhile, Rick finds evidence that could tie the Knights Templar to the construction of the money pit. So when he said that, I was thinking of this. The inverted wells there in Portugal. You saw that, right, Judy?
Yes. Aren't they something else? Wow.
And Scott Clark, which I appreciate his input also, because he's a Mason and knows a lot of stuff about the Templars. He says this thing, it looks ancient, but it was commissioned by the Brazilian Portuguese Freemason in the early 1900s. It's related to the 9 arches of Enoch and Solomon in the Masonic ritual initiation. So this is not built in the Templars' time. This was built in the 1900s. It was commissioned by the Brazilian Portuguese Freemason, and it's related to the Masonic ritual intimidation with the Solomon Temple. So I wanted to put that out there so you guys know that. So that was good to know, Judy.
Yes, it's certainly, it's almost beautiful, isn't it? How would they build that? I'd like to watch.
Well, they built it in the 1900s.
Yes, but still, it's amazing to me.
Unbelievable. Just unbelievable. Also, we got this. They were talking about Mason's marks, like a Mason. It's almost like I remember seeing sidewalks where I used to live in the city, Judy.
Okay.
And at the end of the city sidewalk, there'd be concrete. There'd be somebody's initials on the last square in the date. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yes.
So in the olden times, these Masons, this is thanks to Daniel Spino, had these Mason marks. And there's a bunch of Mason marks there. Very interesting, Daniel.
A lot of them for sure.
Let me see here. Well, guys, it's about all I have for tonight. We've been on for about an hour and a half. It was a long show. We went through a lot, and I thought it was one of the best episodes, like I told you in the beginning. What do you think, Judy?
I think so, John. I think we have another good one to look forward to for next week.
Yep, they save the best to last. You know what I mean, Judy?
Right. They always do, and then leave us hanging. But that's okay. We'll find out more next year.
Yep, and Daniel says another possibility, something that was hidden by the Templars and then was retrieved and then deposited on Oak Island. Who the heck knows where it came from? Could have been from Scotland. Could have been from Portugal. Just unbelievable answers. We hope to find out and know. You know what I mean, guys?
Yes. And Daniel, we're counting on you to find out, okay?
Yeah. Yeah. Alrighty, Judy, you want to button it up and say your goodbyes, and might see you again Saturday night. Not sure. I'll let everybody know. So, Judy, go ahead.
All righty. Hey, everybody. Just want to say thank you for your input tonight. That makes it so much more fun, and we learn so much more. So I will see you next Wednesday night, and watch for John on the page to see if he's going to be on Saturday, and if so, I'll see you then. And in the meantime, you know, guys, right now it's crazy out there. Please stay safe. I want you back. Good night, John.
Okay, Judy, I'll be talking to you. Fantastic synopsis as usual. It'll be posted on the group later on. I thank you so much, and I'll be talking to you later, Judy. Thank you.
All righty. Bye-bye.
All right, guys, it was a fantastic show. Great episode. I loved it. One of the best episodes, like I'm saying. If you missed it, you can see it on our quest page. The screenshots will be on later in Judy synopsis, or buy it on History Channel, or whatever you have to do to see it. Remember, I have a new Facebook group. It'll be all about the Templars. If you're a member of the Quest of Oak Island Facebook group, you'll be automatically accepted into that group as we can dive deep into the Templar history. But remember, guys, always go forward. You may get a setback, but just believe in yourself. Believe in your dreams no matter how old you are. You keep smiling. You be kind. For tomorrow's a never given. This world's getting crazier and needs a lot of prayers. So stay strong. Stay positive. You guys stay safe. Thank you for joining me and Judy tonight. I may see you Saturday. If not, I'll see you pre-show Tuesday. Hope you enjoyed the show. Thank you. Take care. And bye.